Hi, this is Miss Lori here with Lesson 2.1, Mental Addition. Mental addition is when we add things in our head. What we want to do here is just show how we do it. Here's our lesson objective. Add two-digit numbers mentally with or without regrouping. And here we see a picture of a box of cupcakes. And I can put 2 of those 5 on a plate, and that leaves 3 that I can put on another plate. And so this is a quick drawing of a number bond. And we know that a number bond looks something like this. And so this part here in the number bond is the whole part. And I have a picture for that. Let me pull it up here. So this part here is the whole. In this case, it's 5. And then we have the 2 parts of 5. And here's 2, and here's 3. And it doesn't matter how I move it. The number bond works the same way. There's just more than one way to look at it. All right, so it's a quick introduction of number bonds. Here's what you'll need for this lesson today. You'll need extra practice pages 15 and 16, and you're going to do that for your classwork instead of the textbook today. You'll also need the workbook pages 19 and 20, and that's for your homework. So if you want to pause the video and grab those things, that would be great. You're going to need a pencil and an eraser. So let's start with the lesson. We want to use number bonds to find sums. A sum is the answer to an addition problem. So we are using addition to find answers, and we're using number bonds to do that. So let's take a look. It says here, add two-digit numbers mentally using the add tens, and then add the ones strategy. So let's take a look at a practice math problem. Let's practice adding these 2 numbers mentally when we're going to use number bonds to help us show how we think about it. So we're going to work with 45 plus 63. And the first thing I want to do is create number bonds to help me. You can do this on a dry erase board if you like. So I'm going to start with 45. 45 is a whole, so I'm going to put 45 here. And 63 is another whole, so I can go ahead and put it over here. And now I'm going to pop these numbers apart by place value. So I know that this is 40. So there's the 4 tens. And this is 5 ones, so I'll put the 5 ones there. And here I have 63, which is 6 tens or 60, and 3 ones. And now I could add this together in my head. I'm going to add the tens, and I see that that makes 100. Sorry about that 0. And then 5 plus 3 is 8. And then I can put the 100 and the 8 together, and now I have 108. So if that made sense to you, great. Let's go forward. If not, I want you to rewind and listen one more time. We're going to practice this strategy 2 more times. Let's do another one. This time we're going to find 34 plus 52. And I've already started it. And if you want to pause the video and you want to practice right now, that's great. I'm going to go ahead and pop apart the 34. I'm going to pop it apart by tens and ones. There's the 30, and there's the 4 ones. Here's 50, and here's 2 ones. And now I can add it together in my head. If you want to pause and do that, you can. I'm going to go ahead and show you. 30 plus 50 is 80. 3 tens plus 5 tens is 8 tens. 4 ones plus 2 ones makes 6 ones. And when I put those together, I have 86. And how do I record that? Like that, right there. Let's do another one. I need to adjust the screen. And there it is. Okay. It says find 34 plus 48. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that apart. I have 30. I have 4 ones. This time I have a 48. So that's 40. And 8 ones. Pause the video. Do the math. Oops, that's supposed to be an 8. So pause the video, do the math, and come back here to check your work. Okay, so 30 plus 40 is 70. 4 plus 8 is 12. So I'm regrouping here, aren't I? I have a 10 here. The other problems I did, we didn't get as big as 10, so this is bigger than 10. And so now I'm going to add this together in my head. And I have 82. All right. I want you to practice on page 15. You can see that I have added an additional number bond space over here, and you can do the same down here on your worksheet to help you. I think it makes more sense to do it that way. The textbook is showing you, so they're following these steps just a little bit differently than I did. You can use my method over here in your workbook. I think that my method is a little bit easier than trying to figure out what number goes on which blank. Okay? And if you want to do this work on a separate piece of paper to make it bigger, that's totally fine. Just number it, write the math problem, and the answers are at the very end of the video, the answers to this math to help you out. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next strategy. So if you need to pause, please pause anytime you need to. We're going to use a different strategy to find sums. And here it says add 2-digit numbers mentally using the add tens, then subtract the extra one strategy. So we're going to add, and then we're going to subtract. So let me demonstrate how to do that with the first one. We're going to work with 18 plus 13 because they're a little bit small, so it makes it easier to work with. In this strategy, I want to turn one of these numbers into the next bigger 10. And I'm going to use the 18 because it's bigger than 13. It's closer to 20 than 13. And I know that in order to make 20, I need 2 more. Whoops, that is the wrong tool. Quick, running out of our minutes here because I only get 15 minutes to do it. So 18 plus 2 makes 20. So 20 is the next 10 that I have. So instead of doing 18 plus 13, I'm going to change this 18 to a 20 in my head. I'm doing this in my head. And when I do 20 plus 13, I get 33. But guess what? I know that 33 is too big. It's too big by the quantity of 2. So I'm going to take that 33 right there, and I'm going to subtract this 2. And now I have 31. So 31 is the exact answer for this math problem. As a recap, what did I do? I looked at the number that was bigger, and I took that number up a little bit to the next 10. So I have a 0 here, because a 0 is easier to add in my head, right? I added it together, and I realized that here I added on a 2. So when I finish, I want to subtract a 2. Let's do another one. You can pause anytime you need to. Let's work with 34 and 48. And this time, 48 is the bigger number. It's closer, excuse me. Not that it's just bigger, but 48 is closer to 50 than 34 to 40. So here's my 48, and I know that I need 2 more to make 50. So what does the math look like? I'm going to change this 48 to a 50. I'm going to add 34 plus 50. And that's going to make 84. But I know that 84 is a little too big because I included that 2. So now I want to take out the 2. 84 minus 2 equals 82. Okay. Let's do one more. If you get it, you can fast forward. This time we want to do 35 and 57. And 57 is closer to 60. So here I would have to add on 5 to get to 40. Here I only need to add on 3 to get to 60. So I'm going to choose that one. 3. And now I'm working with 60. Get a good 60 on there. So 35 plus 60 is 95. But I have 3 more than what I need in there. So I'm going to take 95. I'm going to subtract the 3. And now I have 92. And so what does this mean? It means that 35 plus 57 is 92. Okay, that is all the practice that we're going to do today. And so this is your second extra practice page to work on. We're using this today instead of the textbook. This is page 16. You're going to use the same strategy where you are creating a 10. So instead of working with 49, you're going to use 50, which means that you add on an extra 1, and you're going to subtract that 1 off to finish the math problem. I feel like this is easier to fill out on the worksheet than page 15. So please try to follow the steps here on the worksheet. And of course, if you have questions, send me a message. All right, I really look forward to, I got to say one more thing here. I'm going to jump down here. This is your workbook page and the other workbook page. So there's just 2 little workbook pages to practice with. And I promised you the answers. So here they are. Please check your work. How did you do? If you have questions, please send me messages in Jupyter. I love that when you have a question about something, you take a little picture of the part you have a question of. It helps me. I hope that my answers are helping you. And I look forward to seeing your homework. You do not need to turn in your classwork unless you have a question on the classwork. Okay? All right. I look forward to seeing your work.